Hello, everybody. My name is Wilder,
And you can call me Zel.
and welcome to October's second or first Patreon video. I am so sorry that I have been behind with these Patreon videos, but it's not going to happen again, and you might get more than one a month after this.
Depending on how this one does.
Depending on how this one does, actually. Depends on how you like it. So we decided that what would be pretty easy, because all the video ideas we had two really cool video ideas planned for Patreon this month, and they both fell through.
Yeah.
But we decided that along with the one that you will get, the first one you'll get this month, this one, we thought we'd make it a little podcast type thing.
Yeah, so apologies that our faces are not available for your viewers, like viewing enjoyment.
Yeah, because Patreon videos, they usually have like vlog style videos. Sorry that there aren't going to be any this month, but next month we'll find some cool stuff.
Instead, we're releasing this video 2 weeks early for patrons and then releasing it to the public afterwards. So the public gets to enjoy this and get to see kind of a snippet of what we're offering to patrons. And patrons, you get an early release.
Yeah.
So
this is the first time I've done this. I'm gonna release this to patrons. A week and a half, 2 weeks later, the public gets this video. So to all my patrons, happy Halloween. Hope you have a good Halloween coming up. To everyone else, I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. Anyway,
no matter when, stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. So before, just like an hour ago, we were asking in the Discord. We just added everyone in general and said, ask us questions. If there's any question you've ever wanted to know, you've ever wanted to ask Zel or I that like it hasn't been answered before, ask it here. You'll get your question answered, probably. And we got a bunch of questions, and this is what we're doing it for.
Like close to 50.
Yeah, I narrowed them down a lot. I took out some questions. If your question does not get answered, I'm sorry. But hey, if you guys like this, then we'll do it again. I do not mind.
Put it this way, if your question didn't get answered, or you didn't get a chance to ask a question, put it in the comments of this video. We might do another one, and we'll use the video comments to dictate what we answer.
Yeah, put them down in the comments. All right. So I have them all listed here. I put them in an order that we wanted to listen to. We have some, or that we wanted to answer. We have some normal questions, rapid fire questions, and then one question to end it off. So let's get started. So the first question that we have is, Wilder, what was the reason you wanted to become a YouTuber? Why did you want to start a YouTube channel?
Wilder?
Yes.
Why are you a YouTuber?
So why did I want to start a YouTube channel? I've answered this on a stream before, but that is kind of hard to find. I don't even remember what stream I answered this question on. But I started watching YouTube videos when I was 8 years old, I believe. YouTube was like just starting at that time. One of my friends was like, hey, have you ever heard of this thing called YouTube? I was like, no. And he gave me like the site and gave me a bunch of YouTubers to go watch that he liked. Most of them were Let's Players who played Nintendo games, which is what we liked at the time.
Yeah.
And so I like went home, watched it, and I got hooked on watching Chugga Conroy's Let's Plays. That is where the entire I want to make YouTube videos thing started. Like before YouTube was even really a thing, I just wanted to make videos because I was watching Chugga Conroy's Let's Plays and I loved them so much that I wanted to be a Let's Player too. And as I grew up and went through school, I wanted to do a lot of different things. But one of the things that was always stayed in the back of my mind was, like, make YouTube videos. I wanted to be a Let's Player really badly. And so it took a long time, but eventually I made my first YouTube video. And I started my first Let's Play, which was my Harvest Moon Wonderful Life Let's Play, which is still on my channel if you haven't watched it. It's pretty entertaining.
Is your first video still on your channel?
My first video ever is still on my channel. It is an Overwatch video. You can find it. I don't think it's bad. I had a different mic, though. I made my... My first few videos I made with my original mic, which was just a headset. And then, after I made, like, a few videos, I bought myself this microphone that I'm using now. And this microphone is what I use in all of my videos. It is a snowball. Snowball. Ice. Yeah. So even though my audio quality is really bad in like my first video, I don't think it's a bad video. It's a little long, but I think it's funny. Like I don't a lot of people on YouTube are like, "Oh man, don't go back through my history. Don't do that. Don't like it's embarrassing." Don't do it. Like, shield your eyes. But I don't think I honestly don't think I have an embarrassing video on my channel. Like, one that if someone brought up, I'd be like, oh my god, that was so long ago. That's horrible. Like, my editing has gotten better. There are things I wasn't able to do or things that I didn't do well. But I don't think I have, like, a bad video.
Like,
Not
it's
really.
not cringeworthy for you.
Yeah, I don't cringe when I watch my old videos. I mean, the audio quality is pretty bad, but, you know. It's not
Was I in that video?
No.
Okay. Or was it Arissa training?
Yes. The first video that you were in was the Rune Factory Frontier stream.
Oh shit!
That was when I started streaming. That was the first time you ever appeared on my channel, and people immediately liked you.
Oh shucks! Yeah. For the record, I'm gonna. This isn't a question, but I'm gonna cover this right now. I'm never gonna be in a standard video, ever.
Like my discussion videos.
I'll never be in a discussion video. I'll never be in a theory video. I'll never be in a news video. I'll never be in a top 5 video. Nothing like that. I'll be on streams and I'll do Q&As. But like, this is Wilder's channel, and
yeah,
and I'm putting that to rest right now. I've gotten so many questions asking us to collab on shit. I work a full-time job, man. Like this is Wilder's full-time job. This is not my full-time job.
You are a big part of my channel, though. Like, especially streams and stuff. But
and I'm happy to be part of the community. But like, this is your channel.
Yeah. I don't mind. I don't mind.
I just wanted to. I know that's not like what we're trying to talk about today, but like I wanted to cover that real quick.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm glad that you're such a big part of my channel, though. I don't mind when people like say that it's ours, because it pretty much is.
I mean, I say our Discord, but yeah. And our patrons. But...
It's definitely our Discord. You run that Discord more than I do.
Well,
Zel does all the like mod / behind the scenes stuff. I just hang out in the Discord.
It's true.
I just hang out.
You see me like with like a little broom doing like little like housekeeping and sweeping around, and you're just like on the couch.
Just, like, talking to friends. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
that's what made me want to become a YouTuber, is just watching YouTube from a very, very young age and seeing people talk about games I love and play games that I love and see like, oh my god, this person got like 3,000 views on this video. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. 3,000 people watched this. You know, stuff like that. Just like, I want to do that too. You know, maybe I could like talk to people about video games that I like, because I always talked to myself while playing video games anyway, so when I found out that people were actually doing it on the internet, I was like, I could do that too. And even though I'm not a Let's Player now, it definitely helped my channel become what it is. I mean, Rune Factory helped. Rune Factory and Harvest Moon and / Story of Seasons helped my
doggy.
my channel become what it is now. Second question, were you nervous meeting face-to-face for the first time? So if you don't know, Zel and I, we met online in a Discord server.
Not unlike the one that we run.
Yeah, we were patrons of another YouTuber, and we met in his Discord server. And we talked a lot on Discord, and eventually we got into a long...
Like 17 to 18 hours a day, a lot, not sleeping a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make that completely clear. We no life the shit out of our friendship.
Oh, yeah. But we eventually went into a long-distance relationship, and then we met each other a few months later for the first time. I flew across the country to meet her, and you took, like, how long was your bus ride?
Oh, my God. So,
How long was the bus ride?
It doesn't matter if we don't say the city name. We went in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And
you took a bus to get there.
I did. I normally live a 4-hour drive, and the bus took 8 hours because of a snowstorm.
Yeah. So we met because I always wanted to go to Vancouver. One of my big life goals is to move to Vancouver. I love that city so much. And so we met there. Were we nervous to meet face to face? Yeah.
Yeah, but not because of like the whole like catfishing. Oh my god, are you real? Like, have I just been played this whole time? But more like
it was butterflies.
It was butterflies. Yeah.
It was definitely butterflies. Like, I wasn't nervous because we knew each other very, very well. We had been dating for quite a few months up to that point, and like all we do is talk, right? Because we were long distance, so all you can do is talk. And when all you can do is talk, and you are in Discord calls for like 12 hours a day, you
talk about everything.
You learn a lot about the other person. So I think that Zel and I are actually really, really close. We got closer. I got closer to her than anybody else in my entire life in such a short amount of time that it was actually like whiplash.
It was a little scary. Like,
it was crazy. Meeting in person for the first time, it wasn't scary. And it, like, as soon as we saw each other, it wasn't even like an awkward, like, all right, we have to get to know each other all over again. It was like all right, this is the same as a Discord call, except we're just in person. Nothing's different. And we immediately were just like best friends.
Yeah, it's like, oh sweet, I can actually like hold your hand in real life. Neat. Yeah,
it was
like, I don't have to hold my own hand now, you know?
It was really weird because I remember it was like late. We had plans that night and they all fell through. So we were just like, let's just go back to the hotel room and order pizza. And so we did. And like, we were like talking in the hotel room and we were having pizza. And while we were having pizza, we were just like on our phones and it was completely silent. And I remember that like, that was not awkward silence.
No, it was very comfortable.
We never had awkward silence that trip once. And I was like, it was so nice. And it's because like, we know each other so well. Like even before that, you don't need to meet in person to know somebody super, super well. Online friends are real, no matter what anyone tells you.
Hell yeah.
That's a big thing. Yeah, it was fun. I wasn't, the only nervous was like just the butterflies you get, you know, before like any big event happens in your life. Stuff like that.
I remember being really anxious. Like, you know, like, I know you know me, but will you still like me after seeing me? Like, I remember I had that level of anxiety meeting you, but like, I always like to say this, when I first saw you, like, all those anxieties that were like making this buzzing noise in my head, I was like, you know, blood's rushing, you know, my heart's pounding, my head's pounding. When I saw you, that all stopped. It was silent. And it was so nice, because like, I saw you and it's like, nope, everything's fine. Like, what was I worried about? He's here, I'm here, we're fine. Like, it was such a reassuring, like, I felt comfortable as soon as I saw him. Yeah, I can't say that about most people I've met for the first time.
It was definitely a comfort feeling, like immediately, because like that day did not go as planned, even though we were just traveling. A lot can mess up when you're traveling. But like as soon as we were together in the airport, it didn't matter anymore. Like it was kind of amazing how much like that can change just from like, I don't know. It was just meeting in person was great, and that trip was like the best trip ever. We did so much fun stuff on that trip too. We went all over Vancouver. That was a busy trip. My feet were sore every day.
Yeah, I lived close to Vancouver, so I knew it like the back of my hand. So I made a point of like curating a perfect trip for Wilder. It clearly paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, he still praises the trip, and it's been over 3 years.
Yeah, that was an awesome trip. Also, yeah, she used to live near Vancouver. We live together now. That's cool. On the other side of Canada.
On the other side of Canada.
Anyway, third question. All-time favorite game?
So, probably Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, you're sure?
No.
That answer changes. So before Zel met me, she didn't really play a lot of video games.
At all.
Like, she grew up with Ocarina of Time, and then
that was
like
it.
Played Wind Waker and like other Zelda games, but like nothing outside of.
There's a reason why they call me Zel. Like.
But after she met me, I started showing her a bunch of games, and she absolutely loves a lot of games now. But like, so your answer was always Ocarina of Time until you played Breath of the Wild, and then
it's true.
You said Breath of the Wild for like a few months after you beat it, like 100%ed it, and then now it kind of switches.
Yeah, like I love Breath of the Wild, but like nostalgia is so strong.
My favorite game of all time is Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia is my favorite game. I love that game to death. It has its problems, but in my opinion, those problems...
As does Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild. Do we
in
care
my opinion,
about said problems? No!
In my opinion, those problems are very far and few in between and can be heavily overlooked. I love that game to death. It's also where my YouTube name comes from, Wilder. The character Zelos Wilder.
Look him up, he's pretty swell.
He's pretty swell.
And Wilder is not at all a reflection of what he looks like.
No.
No, he does not look like Zelos Wilder.
That would be
at
awesome,
all.
though.
If anything, I look closer to Zelos Wilder.
I love Zelos' hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite game. Least favorite game of all time.
You first. I'm gonna let you know what? Like, my answer is like literally 2 words. I'm gonna let Wilder go off. Like, please, like, this is my blessing to you. Go the fuck off. I know what your answer is. Go ham.
Okay, so I don't know if I have a game that I despise, and I think it is a bad video game, and I think it is a bad game in its series, for its series. I think it's written horribly, and I think that it does not... There's only one reason it needs to exist, and it's not to be a game. And, like, I do I say that one? Is there a worse... There's probably a worse game out there. There's a lot of bad games out there.
Oh, mine's a terrible game.
Well, like, so... Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. Dawn of the New World, it's Tales of Symphonia's sequel. It is one of
You could hear the air quotes.
Sequel. It's one of the worst games I have ever played. It only exists for one reason, and that reason is Symphonia and Fantasia take place in the same world. Fantasia takes place long after Symphonia, and they needed... In Symphonia, you use mana. In Fantasia, they don't use mana anymore. It was a big plot hole. They needed a reason to let you know why, and that's why Dawn of the New World exists. It is a horrible game. It is a horrible Tales game. It is a horrible sequel. It undoes a lot of the stuff Symphonia laid to rest, and it just sucks. There are people that like it. There are people that like it. And if you like something that I don't like, if you can enjoy something that I don't, I give you my blessing, because there's nothing worse than not being able to enjoy something. So if you can enjoy something that I don't, then good for you, because, like, it sucks to not enjoy something. But I will fight you on the fact that Dawn of the New World is not a good game. Whether you enjoy it or not. So it's one of the only things where I have such a strong opinion that I will fight you.
You know what? Seriously, don't bother adding him. He'll, like, it's not going to end well for you. it's bloody.
Please don't add me. I don't want to fight about it. So what's your answer?
Superman 64. Are you kidding?
You've never played Superman 64. You
yes,
watched
I
me
have.
get mad
yes,
at Superman
I have.
64.
No. I tried it. I don't like it.
I bought Superman 64 because it's so bad. We ordered it, remember?
Yeah, we ordered it so one of our online friends could throw it at your head, actually. So, like, we weren't even ordering it to play it. We were ordering it to just, like, throw it.
Yeah, so I ordered it and I was like, I'm going to play it because it's so bad. Man, that game sucks. But, like, more so than, like, I don't like this game. Like, that game is a bad game.
That game is terrible.
There are so many games that are, like, just bad video games. But my least favorite would have to be Dawn of the New World.
My least favorite game is also it's because it's a bad game. But
yeah,
to be fair, I've played some pretty quality shit.
Like, I like a lot of video games. I like every genre except for sports and racing. Unless they're like Mario. But like, so I like a lot of genres, right? I love RPGs. I love turn-based combat. I love action games. You know, I love fighting games. I love first-person, third-person shooters. So like, I have a very like big range in what I play, and because of that, there are definitely a lot of series that I've seen die because the developers change and switch, and the new people that come in don't know what they're doing. Dead Rising 4. The first Dead Rising game is amazing.
Rising 4, I'm coming for your wig.
The first Dead Rising is amazing. Dead Rising 2 is great. Dead Rising 3 was a disappointment, and Dead Rising 4 was just the nail in the coffin. Like, there's stuff like that, right? But I don't, there's stuff that I dislike, but my least favorite game is Dawn of the New World.
Yeah.
Like, there are games that are worse, and there are games that have done worse to their series. But if we're talking about opinion, like just personally, that game hurts me.
And this is opinion. It's a Q&A. So.
Yeah. Game you want remastered, remade, or ported. You can also answer for each one of those.
Ooh, I haven't considered that.
Remastered, remade, or ported. Or you can just answer one for
All
any
three?
to get any of them.
So my first immediate response is Ocarina of Time, but I realize how many times that poor game's been ported and remade and remade. Like, I realize how much that horse has been beaten, and I want to grab the stick and beat it some more. Like, you have to understand, I'm a slave to the series. But no, real talk, honestly, if they remastered, redid, yeah, actually, no, like, for all three, like, remastered it, ported it, all that jazz, if they could fix what they did to Skyward Sword and take out the motion controls,
oh god,
I would love to give that game the fair shake it deserves, because I was not able to sit through it and I had to watch the cutscenes to get the story.
I heard
Mind you,
that
I'm also not a player. Like, I'm not a video game player, I'm a video game watcher by nature.
yeah.
So naturally I couldn't finish the game by playing it, I had to just watch the ending. But it left a lot to be satisfied.
Desired.
Or it left a lot to be desired for me. So I would love to give that game the fair shake it rightfully deserves as part of a Zelda series.
I heard that Skyward Sword's... I know nothing about Skyward Sword. I owned it. I played it to the beginning of the first dungeon, and I dropped it and never looked back. I do not like Skyward Sword. There's a lot of things I already don't like about it just from barely touching the first dungeon. Yeah. Lots of stuff that I really disagree with. I've never played it, not really. And I won't. I'm not going to play it unless like it's for a stream on the channel. But I've heard that like the game, a lot of people who like it say that if you're not going to play it, do not play it, but watch the cutscenes. I have friends who defend it and say, don't play it, watch the cutscenes. And I'm like, well, you're defending the game. Why shouldn't I play it? And they're like, because it's one of those games where I will defend it because I think it's a good game. But, like, if you don't like it, you're not going to play it. And I'm like, that's fair. But apparently the cutscenes are great. Like, the story is great. I don't know anything about it. Never watched the cutscenes. So I probably should at some point. But I am completely blind on Skyward Sword for the most part.
Yeah. As am I, for that matter.
But, man, if Skyward Sword could...
I would love to give that a fair shake.
I don't think they could remake a Skyward Sword, like one that I would play, because they'd have to change so much. There's so much that I don't agree with.
I mean, you're not alone. Like, I know there's people who are going to defend it to the ground, and you know what? Props to you guys. But like with the
I'm definitely not alone. That's I don't know.
Yeah, no. There's a lot to be desired. Like, even as someone who doesn't play games, there's still a lot to be desired.
Unlike Dawn of the New World, if you enjoy Skyward Sword, props to you. I'm glad, because again, there's nothing worse than not being able to enjoy something. I will not fight you on this one. The only thing, if you enjoy something I don't, I will never fight you unless it's Dawn of the New World. Everything else,
in which case you're going feral and you better watch out.
Everything else, cool.
What about you? What's a game that you want? Funny. Like, what, do you want Dawn of the World to be ported?
No. I got Dawn of the World ported to the PS3. Still didn't like it. So remaster, remake, port. Symphonia's already been remastered.
But like,
if it could get like a remake in like Tales of Arise looks amazing. If Symphonia could ever get a remake in an engine like Berseria or Tales of Arise, man, I would pay triple for like if they're like, oh yeah, we're remaking Symphonia in Tales of Arise's engine, but it's going to be triple the price for just the base game. I would pay that. I'm not even joking. I would get that money.
So like context, like base games here cost $80 in Canadian. Like, it's 60 American, 80 Canadian. Are you telling me $240 for the base game?
Yes, I like that's never gonna happen. But like,
that's your money, fam.
Well, yeah, but like that's something that I want that. I would buy that. I would. Oh my god, that would be amazing. I would love Symphonia remade in like a new engine. But I think a game that deserves a remake more than Symphonia, because I think Symphonia's base game, although outdated, is fine. I think a game that really deserves a remake is Persona 3.
Ooh, yeah.
Persona 3.
That's a good answer, too.
Persona 3's characters and its themes are amazing. It's the best in the entire Persona series. However, it is a hard game to play.
Yeah,
it is
rough. It's not like Nintendo hard, where like it's a difficult game in terms of like play strategies. It's hard to sit through.
It's hard to sit through. As a game, it is very hard to sit through. A lot of people who play Persona, a lot of them will never recommend Persona 3 to you to be the first game you play. There's definitely a group of people who will. I would never ever recommend Persona 3 as your first Persona game. It has some of the best characters and some of the best themes of any in the series, but I would never recommend it to you first because it is a hard game to sit through.
Like it's long. It's not boring, but it's long.
It's too long.
You have to be ready. And it's also emotionally draining. Like I cried my eyes out.
There's no problem with the game being long, but this game is too long because with not enough content in between it.
Yeah, it's almost a lot of waiting. It feels like
the further you get, the less that feels, but it's real hard to get past that initial hurdle.
Yeah. So for anyone playing it, hang in there.
Yeah. Persona 3 could use a big remake though in like Persona 5's engine. That would be
it could use like a Persona 4 Golden.
It could use like a Persona 4 Gold or Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
But like with updated visuals and an updated battle style, because that battle style is outdated, especially when you compare it to Persona 5.
I mean,
even Persona 4 in some.
Sorry.
Even Persona 4 in some aspects, Persona 3 is still outdated.
Well, like, and even look at how good they look in their dancing game. Like,
yeah, that was amazing. Persona 3 doesn't get as much love.
So good. Please remake it in that engine.
Yeah. Persona 3 deserves a remake, a complete remake, more than Symphonia. Symphonia is an amazing game, and I love it more. But Symphonia's had its time to shine, especially with it being the most popular Tales game for a long time before being dethroned. And with it also having this like the HD edition on the PS3, like it's had a remaster, it's had extra content. Persona 3 deserves
so much love.
Yeah, it really does. Ported, I want Symphonia ported to the Switch. Yeah, I want that part of the Switch. Remastered, I'm not sure. There are quite a few games that could benefit from a remaster. Persona 4 is also one that I would love remade too. That doesn't need as much love, but like, it's my favorite Persona game.
Actually, can I change one of my answers? I want because like I want like Skyward Sword to be remade, but I'd love it if Wind Waker got ported to the Switch.
Oh yeah, if Wind Waker HD got ported to the Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of Wii U games that need to be ported to the Switch.
Yeah.
A lot of them already were, but like Pikmin 3. Where's my Pikmin?
Can we ask that as a remake, even though it's not even made yet?
Pikmin. I want Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 hasn't been made yet. Pikmin 3 is on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need more Pikmin. Favorite video game soundtrack?
Pardon me. Sorry. You go first on this one.
There's a lot. There's a lot of really good music.
Okay, like top 3 game OSTs.
Then. One of them has to be Persona, because Persona
like in general.
Persona 4 is, I think. Persona 5 though. Oh my god, that's so difficult. Persona 3's
you just
sound.
Go like Persona series, because even Persona 3 has good music.
Persona 3's sound is. Persona 3 and 5 are like tied for my favorite sound. Ah man, the Persona series in general. Can those be my top 3?
Persona 3, 4, and 5?
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, sure.
No, Symphonia has good music too. But The Last of Us.
Oh, my heart.
That's a good soundtrack.
You know what? The entire time I was thinking about like remakes from the last question, I was thinking of The Last of Us.
The Last of Us has been remastered for the PS4.
I know, but like, oh, it's such a good game, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. There are some Mario games that have some amazing music. Bowser's Inside Story, in the final, that song doesn't even sound like a Mario and Luigi game, like, soundtrack. In the final, if you haven't heard that song from Bowser's Inside Story, look it up. That song does not sound like something that Nintendo made. It is beautifully epic.
You could play in the background of this for a couple seconds to give people a preview.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Like, Nintendo's made some amazing music in the past, but, like, that song blows me away every time. What about you?
So I really like the Life is Strange OST.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which you probably weren't expecting me to say. Because I've been like, Zelda. But
I've never
also,
played
like,
Life is Strange.
It has really good music, actually. It's that's actually when I first learned about Halsey. Is because of the song Gasoline, which is not in one of the games, but there was a really cool like fan mix that was made for one of the characters, and that song was in it.
Cool.
Super loose connection, but I'll take it. What else? Shit.
There's lots of good video game music.
Yeah. Like, the first song that came to my mind was Life is Strange, but...
The Professor Layton series is one for me, too.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I also really liked, oh my god, what was that game? Am I thinking of The Last of Us? I might be thinking of The Last of Us. See, Wilder and I have played so many games together, and Uncharted!
Uncharted has some really cool music.
I really like the Uncharted OST.
Uncharted has some real good mystery themes.
Yeah. I really like the atmospheric one. Actually, you know what? Amnesia. I fucking hate... Sorry for swearing. I hate horror games. I hate horror games. I hate horror games. But damn, they don't have some of the best music I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Amnesia has amazing atmospheric music that I love zoning out and listening to. And also, honorable mentions for OSTs to Skyward Sword. They have that's some of my favorite Zelda music. Believe it or not, is Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild too. But like
Breath of the Wild, a lot of people, that's a very controversial opinion, is Breath of the Wild has music.
Yeah, I know. But like
I like the songs that were in Breath of the Wild, but Breath of the Wild's music was very hidden.
Which I don't mind, you know?
Me neither. I think the background, like the very silent,
like the
silent background music was good.
Like the little twinkles, you know?
Yeah, stuff like that. And even the song, like the battle songs too.
Yeah.
On the same topic, favorite band and favorite album.
Okay, favorite album, hands down, no questions asked, Fallen by Evanescence. Which a lot of people are like, whoa, hello 2009.
What about your favorite band?
It switches a lot still. You've gotten me so into Fall Out Boy, it's stupid. Which, by the way, foreshadowing, I probably just guessed Wilder's favorite band.
Oh yeah, my favorite band is Fall Out Boy. I love Fall Out Boy so much. I never listened to music growing up, which really shocks people. Like, I just didn't listen to music. Video game music, sometimes, but like, I was never that type of person to put my earbuds in and just listen to music. I never grew up with it, and I didn't start getting into music at all or appreciating it at all until I was 17.
Which wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. I'm 21, so I only got into music very recently. And one of the first bands that I was shown was Fall Out Boy. Man, my sister had a time showing me music because I didn't know anything. So she was just like, you have to have heard this one. And she'd play it, and I'd be like, I've never heard that, but I like it. And she's like, oh, this is so weird. You've never heard anything.
So my favorite thing to bring up when Wilder says he's never listened to music, and this will horrify a lot of you, he does not know the words Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Yeah, I had never heard it until...
I've sang so many bars, and I've played it for him. I've played him, a version that I know he would like. I've played him the Adam Lambert version. I've played him, oh god, Brendan Urie version, the original, of course, like the
Yeah.
OG version.
Well, because like
But, the words don't come to him like they do the rest of us, like a stupid knee-jerk reaction that we can never ignore.
I never heard it. I never heard it when like it was. I know the story behind it. It just wasn't a thing. I just didn't listen to music at all. But now that I've since I started getting into music, I love it. My favorite bands are the the Trinity, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots. Those three. I love them.
I think I have a favorite band and I have a favorite solo artist.
Yeah.
Right now, because my music taste changed, like how often I change my socks. My favorite solo artist right now is Halsey, and I think my favorite band right now might be, oh god, what the hell is the band name? Wow, I just spaced so hard. Hang on a sec, I'm actually gonna look it up.
Sure. Foster the People, Mumford and Sons, Bastille. Like I love.
I saw Mumford and Sons live. That was a show.
That must have been really, really cool.
Imagine Dragons, that's who I'm trying to think of.
Imagine Dragons is really good too.
Right now, Imagine Dragons is like my cocaine. I love them so much. Like, It's Time was my graduation song. Fun fact.
For my favorite album, it's gonna be like a Fall Out Boy album. I really love Save Rock and Roll. I also really, really like. I like Blurry Face from 21 Pilots, but I think my favorite album might be Mania from Fall Out Boy, their newest album.
That came at a really important time for us.
Vessel from 21 Pilots, I found at a very important time for me. That helped me a lot when I was in grade 12. One song in particular, Holding On To You, that one helped me a lot. But Mania by 21 Pilots, that's probably my favorite album, at least right now. I love that album to death.
Fallen by Evanescence will always be like my... That's my Ride or Die band and my Ride or Die album. I found that when I was 14 and sad as hell like everyone else. And that was such and also it doesn't help that Daredevil just came out, so everyone knew Evanescence.
Yeah, I wasn't around when Evanescence wasn't a meme.
Yeah, that's true. You didn't actually get to unironically enjoy them.
Yeah, the first time I ever listened to Evanescence was because of memes.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to start wrapping this up with some rapid-fire questions, and then we'll do one big question at the end.
Okay.
So, rapid-fire. Pets?
Okay.
You got any pets?
Not right now.
You want a rabbit?
No! I do have a dog back home.
Yeah. I have a few dogs. I had 5 dogs. 2 of them passed away recently. 4 of them were Japanese chins. And the last one is part King Charles, part Papillon, I think,
Probably.
or some Cocker Spaniel. I can't remember. But yeah, and I have a cat who is currently living with my sister. Her name is Flurry.
She's a great cat.
She's a tabby cat. She's getting old now.
She's getting old. I just have a golden retriever.
Yeah.
But for Wilder and I, no, we don't have an animal. Yes, we want one really badly.
Favorite Pokemon and why? Mine is Gardevoir because I grew up with Pokemon Emerald.
Have you seen her? Sorry.
I grew up in Gen 3, and I remember very specifically when I used to just spam Ember with Blaziken. That's how every battle went for me. But when I started growing up and actually started realizing, oh, stats matter. Oh, this matters. Oh, that matters. And learning about Pokemon, the ins and outs. The first Pokemon that I ever trained, seriously, was I caught a Ralts. Because watching Wally catch a Ralts in Emerald and then not being able to find it made me want to find it really badly. So I caught Ralts, and I didn't have a Psychic Pokemon. And I never really used Psychic Pokemon, so I decided to use it and trained it up. And Gardevoir, if you train Gardevoir right, that thing can sweep parties. So that was the first time I ever got competitive with a Pokemon. So that's why Gardevoir is my favorite.
My favorite Pokemon is Bulbasaur, and it's not because he's number 1. Though he is. That's not the reason. This is actually kind of a weird reason. I used to do a lot of like original character role playing and like fandom role playing and stuff like that, like long form RPs by typing. And in one of the AUs I created with my role playing partner at the time. By the way, hi if you're listening. We did a Pokemon AU, and my character got a Bulbasaur, and the Bulbasaur in question had a super bad attitude, but through the RP we grew to go closer, and it evolved and all that jazz, as Pokemon are ought to do. And I grew really, really, really attached to Bulbasaurs after that, to the point where, like, on Tumblr, I was reblogging nothing but Bulbasaurs for like 3 months straight. So it kind of like it was almost like it's kind of like Ash and Pikachu at first. Like, they fucking hated each other, but like their bond's unbreakable. That's pretty much what happened with me and Bulbasaur. It's like it was thrust into my life, and now I'm just like in love with it.
Aw.
Yeah. So cute.
Favorite anime? Mine is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. My first ever anime was Fruits Basket, and I love Fruits Basket to death. I'm so glad it's getting a remake. I need to watch it. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood blew me away. That is the first time I've ever been super, super invested in an anime.
Does Sailor Moon count as the first anime, or is that still kind of like Pokemon-ish? Like, it's not really.
No, I think Sailor Moon counts.
Okay, so Sailor Moon would have been my first anime, and
I mean they all count, but people look at Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon as like, oh, that was your Saturday cartoons.
Okay, but like Yu-Gi-Oh though, like my man Yu-Gi, like
I loved Yu-Gi-Oh GX. That's not a popular opinion, but I love GX. I love Jaden.
OG Yu-Gi. Oh my god, give me you just give me all of you. Anyways, my favorite so that's my first one. My favorite one's actually an anime called Kids on the Slope. It's like a 13 episode long story just about two friends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Do you like road trips?
Road trips? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, hell
we took a road trip from when I lived in Sherbrooke, Quebec. We took a road trip from Sherbrooke, Quebec to
Toronto, Ontario.
Toronto, Ontario, which is like a 7.5 hour drive. Zel just did it. I can't drive. Yeah. Zel can, so she just drove straight there. It was cool. It was really fun. It was the best road trip I've ever had. Yeah,
it was so chill. Like, we were just playing music together. I'm gonna preface this really quick. I don't like doing road trips with many other people. Like,
yeah,
it's Wilder or bust. Like,
I've only ever had road trips with my family, and road trips with my grandparents are fine. They're cool. But like anybody else in my family, and road trips suck, 100%. So that was really cool.
No, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Favorite foods during cold and hot weather?
Okay, so during cold weather, I'm a big fan of sandwiches. Like, that seems like a really weird thing.
During cold weather, I like spaghetti.
Sorry, did I say cold weather? Or hot weather?
You said cold weather.
I'm sorry, I meant for like hot weather because it's a nice cold thing, refreshing thing to eat.
For hot weather, for hot weather, I like hamburgers and hot dogs on the barbecue.
I like deli sandwiches.
Yeah, I like barbecue just because like that's what you do in the summer. You barbecue, you know.
I also like fresh fruit and like fruity cakes.
Yeah. For winter though, for like cold weather, I love spaghetti because whenever chili, chili or a nice good soup. In the middle of winter in Eastern Canada, I would come upstairs when I lived with my grandparents. I'd come upstairs whenever we would have spaghetti, and like my grandmother would have like the balcony door open, or the porch, or the door to the deck open.
Too steamy?
Yeah, it got way too steamy because they make like this big pot of spaghetti sauce, and it was so steamy.
It's more like a vat of.
it would be so hot and sticky in the kitchen, and like she'd have the door to the deck open, and like it would be
snowing outside.
It would be super hot, and then you'd stand near the door for like 2 seconds, and then you'd be freezing, and then you'd be able to go back inside for like another 20 minutes. I don't know. That's more of like a memory, but that's what I love having during cold weather, because it makes the room really, really warm, and then you just open a door, and I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, honorable mentions though to Mexican food at any time.
Oh, anytime.
Anytime. We love... Okay, so before, like, the Hispanics come jumping down our throats, we like Tex-Mex, okay?
Yeah.
We like Tex-Mex.
Favorite animal?
Cats.
Mine's a tiger. I like tigers.
Oh, okay, we're talking, like... Sorry, okay, elephant.
Elephant?
Yeah.
Mine's tigers. As for pets, I like dogs. I'm a dog person. I'm both. I love cats and dogs, but I like dogs a little more.
I like cats more, but I'm super...
I'm allergic to cats too.
Yeah.
Embarrassing memory.
Do you want to go first or should I?
You go first. Let's not make these long though, because we're going to wrap it up with one last question after this.
Cool. So, this is actually
just rapid fire.
Yeah, so just like this is a story right when we first moved in together. For context, I had not cooked for anybody, let alone myself, before that. Like, I was brand new to the kitchen, but I was super determined to like really impress Wilder. So I made this disgusting chicken dumpling soup in a crock pot, which would have been great if I didn't like do everything wrong with it. First off, like I could explain in great detail why the entire thing was absolutely disgusting, but the worst part of it was the carrots. The carrots that were in that stupid, like, it turned into a stew by the time I was done with it. It wasn't supposed to be a stew, it was supposed to be soup, but it was a stew with, like, raw dough in it. Like, again, don't ask how this happened. But I put the carrots in for, like, all 8 hours of cooking, and Wilder is such a champ. He ate it without like gagging or like I was making.
Oh my god! So hold up. So I put like there were carrots in it, and I put a carrot in my mouth, and I started laughing. And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's gone." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I put the carrot in my mouth, and it disintegrated." And I was laughing, and she's like, "Whatever." And so she's like, "I know it's bad, but," and I was like, "No, it disintegrated." She put the carrot in her mouth and was like, "It's gone."
Like I've never felt a thing. Like, I've never put an object in my mouth only to have it disappear. Like, it completely and utterly disintegrated without any remote... Like, it held shape in the spoon, but as soon as it touched anything other than a metal spoon or a crock pot, it was gone. Like, it was the most...
so funny.
It was the most... Like, I was so embarrassed because it was the first thing I ever, like, really made for him that wasn't, like, you know, like, reheating pizza type of thing.
Zell is really good at cooking now.
Yeah, I haven't done that since.
You're really good at cooking now, but that was like, I don't even think that was just because of an experience. I think that was just a bad recipe.
That might have been just bad. I'd like to try.
My embarrassing memory. Zell knows this one. So, no, listen. Growing up, I was never, ever, ever, ever taught anything about geography.
I know this. Okay.
Oh my god, your mic just cut out a lot.
Sorry.
I was never ever taught anything about geography. In school, out of school, never looked at a map, never looked at a globe. Like, I've never, ever. And so, growing up, I realized everybody else knew, but I didn't. So I must have missed something. I just, still today, I'm not even really good with geography. I don't know where anything is. I don't even know where all the provinces in Canada are. I can't tell you where they are.
You really can't.
I've never learned it. I mean, I don't care anymore, so I don't have a, that drive to go look and learn. I don't care. If I need to know it, I'll look it up. But I never learned it in school. So I remember in high school, all my friends went on this Europe trip, and for like a week or two, it was really cool, and they came back, and I was talking to one of my friends about it. And I'm like, how was the Europe trip? And he was like, oh, it was so cool. And he was telling me all about this Europe trip. And I was like, oh, cool, nice. And then at one point he was like, yeah, and we also went to see the Eiffel Tower. And I was like, the Eiffel Tower? That was... You went on the Europe trip, though. He's like, yeah, we went to see the Eiffel Tower. And I was like, I thought the Eiffel Tower was in France. And he was like, are you serious? And I was like... I thought the Eiffel Tower was in France. It's in France, right? He's like, yes. And I'm like, but you went on the Europe trip. And he's like, where do you think France is? And I was like, I thought France was its own country. That sent him spiraling. He's like, "What do you mean you thought?" It was, oh my god. He's like, "What is Europe?" I'm like, "A country."
No.
He's like, "No, Europe is not a country." Him and so many of my other friends were laughing and trying to explain to me France is in Europe. Like, honestly, for so many of my friends, like, no one ever taught me anything about geography, let alone, like, no one ever taught me about Canadian geography. How am I supposed to know about the world if I don't even know about Canada? I live in Canada. I don't know it. But, like, I was never...
For the record, this is, like, one of the first things I learned about Wilder when I first met him.
I was never taught, and I never, like, when I was old enough to go and learn on my own, I didn't have, I don't care. I'm not interested. It makes a funny story, though. That was pretty embarrassing, though, but I laugh about it all the time now. At the time, that was super embarrassing, because it was just, everyone was just laughing, and I was like, I was laughing too, but, like, I was like, man, this is funny.
It's still funny.
It is funny. It's I don't know geography at all.
Nope.
This was cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
I like doing these. I like all these questions too. Thank you everyone for these questions. If your question didn't get answered,
please ask it down below.
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Patrons will get this video a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm not sure what's happening before it goes up on YouTube. Patrons, I'm sorry that this video and the other Patreon video was late. Won't happen again. And you might get more than one a month depending on what's going on that month. Because I have a bunch of ideas, just have to find out when I can do them. If they overlap, then you'll get 2.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think of this in the comments below. And we will see you in the next one. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.